Friends, welcome to class 11th. So, in the last class, we had learned regarding the magnetic properties. So, today we'll go for different magnetical substances. Okay. So, in the syllabus, it is mentioned as magnetically dilute substances. So, what does this magnetic dilute substance means here? So, in any of the metals, if you say so, both behavior will be there, diamagnetic and paramagnetic. And when the paramagnetic behavior is isolated from the diamagnetic diamagnetic property, the unpaired electrons present, okay, so in the form of domains, that's called magnetically dilute. So we are not considering the all diamagnetic 1s2 2s2 2p6 3s1. See here, so 1s2 2s2 2p6 all are filled. So we are not considering this, we are isolating this. Now this paramagnetic 3s1 is there, so we are isolating this orbital here having the particular electrons like this. Okay, now this type of paramagnetic electrons, unpaired electrons, now we are studying this unpaired electrons in the presence of external magnetic applied field. Okay, external magnetic field. So when this isolated paramagnetic electrons are observed, the nature of this alignment of these electrons observed in the presence of external magnetic field, no, so we get a different characteristic properties of the magnetic properties of the substances, because they are going to align in different ways in the presence of external magnetic field. And when we do such things, isolation of this paramagnetic electrons, unpaired electrons, we call such a system as a magnetically dilute substances. Now you can see here, so when we isolate this paramagnetic substance and put them into the magnetic field. So before that, now if I see that, what does this diamagnetic means here? So diamagnetic property of a substance means we know that all are, as I said here, so they all are paired here, plus minus, and that's why magnetic value will be 0 here. So there is no net magnetic, there is no net magnetic value here. And the example of this diamagnetic maybe water, sodium chloride, copper C plus 2, zinc plus 2, titanium oxide, vanadium pentoxide. So these are some of the examples for the diamagnetic substances. And as we know that they repel. So since they are diamond, they don't get attracted to the magnetic field and they get repelled in the magnetic field. So if this is a north south, magnetic bar, so when we pass this when we pass the field here, so the field is being reflected here, is been repelled here like this. They go outside, so they are not attracted in the field, they gets repelled like this. Is it right? So this is a one property of the diamagnetic nature. Similarly, one more nature, this is what happens when we are not still applied the field here. So one more is that paramagnetic. So here what happens, the electrons are very haphazard. So you can see here, see, this is minus half, plus half, minus half, and these are the domains. Okay, domains means what? Domains means a particular, if this is a metal sheet, so here the electrons are placed in like this, so this is one domain. So here are electrons placed like this, so this is one domain. So they are very haphazardly, they are placed like this is one domain, so this is called domains. Okay, so in diamagnetic, these moments are placed in plus half, minus half, plus half, that's why the mu is equal to 0. And in paramagnetic, they are placed very haphazardly here like this in each domain. And you can see that they are attracted in the magnet. See, this is repelled. So here you can see here north, south. So here what happened, this is a bar, okay, magnetic bar. And when you pass this, you can see here they are attracted. So like this. So they are coming near to this magnet, see like this. They are coming near to the magnets, like they are attracted here. So this is are attracted like this. Is it right? So example of paramagnetic substances are oxygen, Cr plus 3, iron plus 3, okay, Fe plus 3, ferric, copper lung, titanium oxide. So like when these substances are placed in magnetic field, so they get attracted to the magnetic, to the magnet. So this is what the substance we call it as a paramagnetic. Now you see, now when we apply the substance, now when the magnetic field is applied, so like this, north south, there is a condition, see like this. Now what has happened, you can see here, so diamagnetic goes over, paramagnetic over. Now when magnetic field is applied here for the same isolated paramagnetic behavior, so you can see here all the domains, this one domain, so one domain you can see in each domain, so the alignment is absolutely same. So plus half, plus half, plus half, plus half, plus half, plus here almost the same. Okay, and here magnetic moment value is always greater than 1. Okay, that's why this substance we call it as a ferromagnetic. We call it as a ferromagnet. So diamagnetic, paramagnetic, and this is ferromagnetic. Example: copper, iron, nickel, chromium. So these are the example of ferromagnetic, and the main property of this is when the magnetic field is removed, so they will retain the magnetic field. So when the magnetic field is removed, so they will not lose the magnetism, so they retain the magnetic field here. So this is a one characteristic, and that's why this ferromagnetic, they show hysteresis loop. They show the hysteresis loop. Okay, what is this hysteresis? In physics we have learned this. So this is the hysteresis loop you see here. So this type of loop is shown by the ferromagnetic materials. See here how nice it is. So if you apply the magnetic field intensity H plus on this, okay, and induced magnetization B value, so you can see here, as you increase the magnetic field here like this, so you can see the magnetic field is increased here like this, induced magnetic field is increased here up to a certain level. So where if you increase the magnetic field also, so you are not going to see that it is increasing the induced magnetism. So that we call saturation. This point we call it as a saturated point. Okay, then what, when we decrease the field now, okay, intensity, if we decrease the field intensity, magnetic field intensity, you can see the magnetic property also decreases here. See here. Okay, so decreases and it comes to 0 here, but you can see here when it comes to 0, it is still retaining some of the magnetic here. See here, B. Okay, this is called retention. So this we call that retention. Still, when we decrease the field and when we come to 0, still we can see that there is some that's why we say ferromagnetic. Even if the magnetic field is removed, they show magnetic property. Why? Because yes, they have retained the magnetic property still from 0 to this much. See, when we have decreased the field here like this here, so still it is there. Again, if we come to negative, now we have to change the sign here and bring to negative side of the field here from positive. That's why it's called positive hysteresis and this is negative hysteresis. Now we have to change the battery sign, and when it comes to negative here, you can see here again there is decrease, small decrease, and it comes to 0 again. Again, if I decrease again small, and to one level it comes to negative hysteresis here. This is a final. Okay, and after that it will not go down, and that's why again we have to change the battery. And when we go for positive, again you can see here, as we go positive and increase the magnetic intensity here, so you can see here again magnetic field as we increase, again this, see here, induced magnetism or dipole moment is aligned here properly up to here. See here, at one moment it comes 0, again it is increasing here like this. So that's why it is forming a cycle. So A, B, C, D, E, F, like these cycles. Okay, and it has been covered like this. So area is been covered like this. Okay, and depending on the area, the more area will be there, so that less will be the its effects, induced effect, magnetic effect will be there. So this is how they calculate, and they come into the conclusion with the help of this magnetic this one. That's why that this process we call as a magnetic hysteresis. Okay, so this is not so important, but small in the small this you should know this knowledge. What does this ferro, and this is shown by only ferromagnetic metal ferromagnetic substances, the hysteresis. Okay, so this is what. Now coming to next one, see now whenever some in cases, now when I put the field here, so alignment you can see here, so plus half, minus half, plus half, minus half will be exactly like paramagnetic, but they are arranged in a very regular way in the presence of magnetic field and such, and during which all will cancel here, plus half, minus half, plus half, all will cancel, and you see that the mu value will be 0. Such substances we call it as a antiferromagnetic. Okay, where mu is equal to 0, and most of the manganese complexes are the example MnO, MnO2, Mn2O, Fe2O3, and halides of transition elements. These are some of the examples for this antiferromagnetic properties substances. And one more is there. See again, if sometimes what happens, when we applied this magnetic field here, alignment you can see is very haphazard. So plus half, plus minus half, minus half, plus half, minus half, plus half, minus half, minus half, plus, like so there is no absolutely alignment in a proper order. So very disorderly it is been aligned here, and where the mu value is not exactly equal to 0 like in antiferromagnetic. Okay, so this substances we call as a ferrimagnetic. See here. So example is iron oxide Fe3O4 magnetite. Okay, so this is how. So like this, so different types of magnetic property substances are there. So 1 by 5 to 6 we have learned here. So diamagnetic, paramagnetic, then we have learned antiferromagnetic, ferromagnetic, ferrimagnetic, like this, with what is meant by the hysteresis with examples. So 2 marks question, 3 marks question, they may ask you in the examination. Finally, this is a determination of the magnetic susceptibility by Gauss method. Very important here. For 5 marks question, they will ask you. So you can take the diagram and keep ready. So its principle, working, and calculation we will see in the next class. So these are the magnetic electromagnets. So one sample tube is there. It has been hanged here. So in the tube here, and the weights is there. Okay. So we'll see that in the principle and working weight is there, and the electronic single band balance is there. Okay, so like this, this is a schematic representation of the Gauss method. So Faraday's method also same. So this will complete your unit 1 here. So I think one more slide, one more uploaded video will complete the unit 1. Is it right? So all of you go through this. One screenshot also I will put in your this group. So next one slide, so we will be completing the unit 1. Thank you.